So, illegal drugs around the world are one of the biggest problems in the United States. The trade between the legal drugs consists between $300 billion and $400 billion each year. Drug use is one of the easiest and quickest ways to ruin a family. It ruins the lives between their kids, their homes, and their jobs. Drugs can destroy your life very quickly. Marijuana, for example, is one of those. Marijuana is now legalized in the United States, as we all know, in certain states. Now, they do help with certain things such as seizures and different health problems, such as if you're really hurting. It can help, like if you have back problems or joint and bone problems, certain things like that. The drugs are bad if you cannot control them. Things such as the marijuana is controlled by prescription, so I guess they are keeping track of that, how, you use them. 12% of Americans ages 12 and older have used an illegal drug in the past year, according to the National Household Survey on Drug Abuse in 2001. Illegal drugs are used in sports too. Can you imagine, people chanting your name and cheering for you, and just all that being gone in, just a couple of days, just from using an illegal drug. Several professional athletes have been kicked out of them because they've been using them. It also shows that smaller children that are watching those sports and things like that, it shows them that's right, and it's really not. Would you want to see your kid, taking a drug just because they thought that it was right? I actually have an experience with an illegal drug. It's not me, it's a family member. I've, seen it firsthand. It can happen, and it affects every single one of your family members. I had a cousin, she started doing drugs years and years ago, and it didn't stop. It started after she had her first child, and she lost her family, every piece of her family pretty much, except for my grandparents. My grandparents was the only people that actually believed in her. She started doing drugs with random people, her so-called friends, or whatever you want to call them, and her friends got her into using meth and different things like that. Well, she ended up writing a bad check, and it actually landed her prison time, which we were very, very thankful for. She went to prison. She still, could not afford anything after she had sold and pawned off all my grandmother's jewelry and stuff like that. But she went to prison. She was there for, I think, 2 to 3 years. After she got out of prison, I think while she was in prison, she actually learned, that she didn't need that stuff anymore, that it was bad for her and all this other stuff. But after she got out of prison, she actually got good behavior because she didn't do things like that in there, and she went to church and all that stuff. But after she got out, she was completely fine. She was doing okay, everybody in the family was back seeing her and all this other stuff, and it turns out that she started using again with her new boyfriend she got, and she still hadn't had her child back. Her child was in, I think her ex-boyfriend's mom or somebody had custody of her, but she ended up telling my grandparents that she, was backsliding back to the drugs, that she was on drugs and all this other stuff, and she learned that, she didn't need those anymore, that she couldn't get her daughter back. And she told my grandparents, they put her in rehab. She was in rehab for, I think, like 3 to 4 weeks. She couldn't see anybody, she couldn't call anybody or nothing. And so that kind of helped her, which she is doing okay, and I'm very thankful for. But, it ruined everything. It ruined the relationship between, her and her daughter, her and her boyfriend, her parents, my grandparents. It ruined everybody's life because we couldn't help her. Even though we wanted to, we couldn't help her. And it was just terrible. So I hope that everybody just stays away from drugs and hopefully learn from that.